Okay, so South Korea's tech market is absolutely on fire right now. And today, we're basically going to hand you the keys to the kingdom. We'll show you how a massive transformation has opened up some incredible opportunities for investors just like you. By 2026, we're looking at South Korea's stock market, the KOSPI, blowing past the 5,500 mark. But look, this isn't just some random number on a screen. It's the result of a seismic shift that has made this market more accessible than it's ever been. So what's driving all this? Well, it's the engine of the AI semiconductor supercycle. The global demand for AI is just insatiable, and that has lit a fire under memory chips. And right at the heart of it all, two Korean giants, Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix. All right, so that's the big question, right? How do you actually get a piece of the action? For years, I mean literally for years, if you were a global investor, trying to get into this market was a bureaucratic nightmare. But a recent wave of reforms has finally torn down those walls. So in this explainer, we're going to walk you through this whole new landscape. We'll start with Seoul's AI gold rush, then we'll look at how the market's been unlocked. After that, we'll dive into choosing your investment path, cover the practical stuff like trading and taxes, and then dig into the incredible numbers behind this 2026 supercycle. By the end, you'll have a super clear roadmap. Okay, first things first, let's look at the huge change that really unlocked the Korean market for everyone else. This is the key that opened the door. For 30 years, this thing, the IRC, was basically a fortress wall. It was a bureaucratic labyrinth. I'm talking mountains of notarized, translated documents you had to get before you could even think about buying a single share. It was a totally closed shop. But now, that wall has been completely demolished. That old, painful IRC system is gone. Finished. Now, foreign investors can get started with just a passport number. It finally brings Korea in line with how the rest of the world does things. And the difference here is just night and day. Seriously, look at this. Identification went from that crazy complex IRC to a simple passport number or, for a business, what they call a legal entity identifier. You can open an account through your global broker now. And all that paperwork, the notarized documents, gone. Replaced with simple verification. The whole thing is just faster, leaner, and, well, it finally makes sense. All right, so the market's open. Now what? How do you actually build your personal strategy? Well, you've basically got two main paths to choose from. You can go direct. That means buying shares of Samsung or SK Hynix yourself, giving you total control. Or you can take the indirect route. That's through funds and other products, which gives you instant diversification. Let's start with the indirect path first, since it's a popular one. A classic indirect option is something called an exchange-traded fund, or ETF, like EWY. And this is a really powerful tool. With just one single purchase, you get instant exposure to the whole Korean tech boom. And get this, nearly half of your investment is automatically put into Samsung and SK Hynix. Super simple. Okay, but what if you want to go direct? Well, your residency status is the key here. If you're a non-resident, you'll probably use a global broker. But if you're a resident with an alien registration card, an ARC, the process is even easier. You can use local fintech apps. I mean, some of these let you open an account in like 15 minutes. It's incredible. Okay, so you've picked your path. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. There are two super important practical details you need to know: the trading day and, of course, how your earnings are taxed. So the Korean exchange now runs on a 12-hour trading day. And this is a huge advantage, especially if you're an investor in Europe or the US. It gives you a much bigger window to trade in real time, so you don't have to be up in the middle of the night to get in on the action. Now, let's talk taxes. When you get dividends from your Korean stocks, they're hit with a 22% withholding tax right off the bat. This is automatically taken out before the money even gets to you. But, and this is a big but, here's the good news. Most countries have tax treaties with South Korea, and what that means is you can claim a big chunk of that 22% back, depending on where you live. For example, if you're a US resident, you might only actually owe 15%. And here's how you do it. It's a pretty clear four-step process. First, you file a claim. Then you prove you're a resident of your country. You show proof you own the stock, and then you appoint a local tax agent to handle all the paperwork for you. It's a well-defined path to get your money back. So, the market's open, the process is clear, but why is everyone so excited about these companies right now, in 2026? Let's look at the absolutely mind-blowing numbers that are driving this AI supercycle.
SK Hynix, they've hit an astonishing 58% operating margin. Now, to put that into perspective, that is a level of profitability that most tech companies can only dream about. They're so dominant in the high-end AI memory market that their entire 2026 production of advanced HBM chips is already sold out. Gone. All of it.
And Samsung? They have also seized massive pricing power. To meet this crazy demand from data centers and AI, they've hiked server memory prices by up to 70%. That tells you everything you need to know about the supply and demand situation. And this is the result of all that. Goldman Sachs is projecting a global memory supply deficit of almost 5%. Now, that might not sound like a huge number, but it's the most severe shortage the market has seen in 15 years. Demand is just completely overwhelming supply. So, let's pull all of this together. What does this all mean for you? How do you take all of this information and turn it into a winning strategy? Okay, here's a quick summary to help you decide. If you're a resident in Korea with an ARC, just go direct with a fintech app. It's fast, it's easy, and it gives you total control. If you're a non-resident, your best bet is a global broker or buying what are called GDRs, which are basically certificates that represent shares on an overseas exchange. And finally, if you're a passive investor, ETFs are the perfect, set it and forget it option. So the doors to one of the world's most dynamic tech markets are now wide open, and it's all being powered by the AI revolution. The opportunity is clear, the path is set. The only question left is, which path are you going to explore?